Welcome back, everyone, to my channel, Breaking Bad Goddess, where we are breaking free from negative thought processes about our authentic selves and celebrating the natural Black aesthetic. Today's video, I'd like to talk about starter locks and preparing your mind to get starter locks, and understanding that the first year of getting your starter locks, it's going to be a little challenging because your hair is going through a process. Your hair will rebel, and it will go through many stages throughout the year, the first year, which is the most, in my opinion, the most challenging year when you're starting your locks. But I specifically wanted to hone in on the mental aspects of preparing for this year if you're thinking of starting your locks, and understanding that you really have to be very confident to get through this stage, because your hair is going to go through a very rebellious look. It's going to bud, it's going to bunch, and it's going to be very frizzy, and you just will go through a phase where you just don't know what you're going to be able to do with it. And unfortunately, in that phase, you may come across some negative comments from people, and you really have to be prepared mentally. And my advice is, if you're not really that confident, then you might want to work on your mindset before you start actually going through with getting locks. Because what will happen is, the first negative comment someone makes to you, then you're going to want to take down your locks and forgo the whole process. And it would be very unfortunate, because I would hate for anyone to stop their lock journey because of ignorant comments from other people. So this is why it's very important to prepare yourself mentally. And in preparing yourself mentally, what you're really saying is you're accepting yourself, all of yourself, your true authentic self. Regardless of whether you go locked or natural, there are going to be people, and unfortunately, many of those people will be within your same racial group who will have a problem with it. And a lot of it is projection. A lot of it is their own insecurities that they're projecting on you. But you have to stay steadfast in your decision to either be natural or to be locked. And, you know, with anything, if you're going against society and the mainstream beauty standards, you're going to get a lot of flack. Whether it's at the workplace, whether it's within family, or just random people who feel entitled to comment on your personal space and your personal aesthetic. And my advice to you at that point is to have a prepared statement and give them hell, basically, that they will not approach you in that manner again. You need to stand up for yourself. You need to find your voice, and you need to be willing to stand your ground and not tolerate it. And I'm the type of person that, so far in my personal journey, no one has deigned to say anything to me about my hair or my locks. Maybe because they know the energy that I emit, I'm not that type of person that's going to shrink. I will say something back. I will challenge these negative and backward mindsets about hair, particularly hair that is in the 4A, 4B, 4C category, where there tends to be a lot of negative mindsets about it. Because let's face it, particularly in our community, we have a problem with Black skin and textured hair. And we can go back and forth about where this is coming from, as far as, the larger societies, anti-Blackness and white supremacy and all that. And I understand that. I understand the context of that. But at what point does the narrative change when we start talking and challenging these concepts of Blackness? Does it matter if these negative concepts come from the greater society, or does it come within the interracial colorism and texturism within our community? And I think it's about time now that when we know better, we ought to be doing better. And we should really challenge it, and not just challenge it verbally, but I think we need to put our money where our mouth is. I don't think that we can talk about the larger society's issues of racism if we're tolerating the intercolorism within our community. And I think it's important that we stop supporting financially institutions, movies, books, personalities, celebrities, sports that have this mindset of racism being bad on the outside, but then turning around and discriminating within the community for its preference of straight hair, lighter skin, less textured hair. We need to be honest with ourselves, and we also need to push back against it. And like I said, personally, I don't support a lot of movies, Black movies, especially movies that tend to have a lot of colorism issues in it. A lot of the movies out now really don't feature women as love interests that have my personal aesthetic, the phenotype. And this has been an ongoing problem for decades. And yet, women that look like me will go out there and support these movies. And they'll go out there and buy these books from very colorist people who blatantly have said that they prefer a certain aesthetic. And that's fine if that's what your preference is. But then turn around and demand my dollar, because I won't contribute financially to my own eraser. So, and I think we need to take that mindset and put it where it counts, because it can end. We can end this thing financially, and people and our dollars will speak volumes if we stand clear that we're not going to support people, institutions that have this mindset, who blatantly in our music, in our movies, in our books, it's very pervasive. And to sit here and act like it isn't a problem, we're not really dealing with the issue. So we have to be strong in who we are. And I'm true to who I say I am. And I started my journey, my lock journey, with the confidence that I wanted to bring out my natural beauty. I didn't care what other people thought. I still don't care. And if you're going to embark on this journey, just be prepared that people are going to say something. People are going to ask ridiculous questions. Well, how do you wash your hair? Or, why did you get locks? Because you had such good hair, Very ignorant, very backwards, things that we should have abandoned decades ago, but still hang on to this relic of colorism and texturism, and not really doing anything about it except whining about it and complaining about it. And I am asserting to those of us who are out there to not only complain or voice our opinion about it, but also put our money where our mouth is and start exercising some serious repercussions for this mindset and some blowback, serious blowback. And people will tend to pay attention when it's affecting their pocketbook. Advertisers will start changing and pivoting. Movies will start showcasing a more diverse group of women that can be represented as love interests, instead of us as, harbingers of struggle narratives and struggle love interests that our phenotype can be celebrated in many different ways outside of the struggle narrative. So I invite you to stand firm, be proud and confident in who you are, whether you have locks, whether you have natural hair, whether you have straight hair, whatever you are, because someone is always going to have an opinion about you. Somebody is always going to say something negative. And let them say their negative stuff. You need to stand firm and confident in who you are and understand that It's not just hair. It's not just skin. You know, we want our daughters to come into this world feeling validated. We want them represented, and we don't want them to go through this life feeling inadequate because we didn't exercise our voice and we didn't put our money where our mouth is. So that is word today on Breaking Bad Goddess. Join me. I post every Wednesday videos, commentary, lock hair, lifestyle, whatever that comes to my mind, because I really do care about us and I want to see us grow and thrive, not just exist, but take our place and reclaim our crown. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next week.